Hey, Rinnie,
Hey, Stephanie.
you looking a little thoughtful today. What's up?
I'm just sitting here thinking about my silly little brain. Stephanie, do you ever think about your brain and how your mind works?
All the time. All the time.
Yeah, I guess I'm feeling like in order for me to manage it, I have to understand it. Hey, everyone out there in podcast land. My name is Rinnie Orr. I'm the Associate Director of Web Squared, and I am your podcast host along with.
Hey, everyone, I'm Stephanie Terry. I'm the Executive Director. And I don't know about a podcast, but I do know about all this rain that's coming down right now. It's making me, and I'm in serious comfort.
Oh, well, that's good. So today, as promised, we're going to be talking a little bit about how our brain works.
Yeah. First off, I never actually thought about how my brain works, even cared about how it worked until later in life. And I was like, you know what? Maybe there's a method to this madness here. Maybe this is something that there's a science behind this. And lo and behold, there is. So we're gonna jump into that today. And Rennie, I'm not the only one. You know a little bit about this stuff too, don't you?
Just what we've studied together over the last few years. But what I find really fascinating, Stephanie, is that 90% of a child's brain development happens before the age of 5. It's 90% of our brain is developed by the time we reach 5 years old.
Isn't that amazing? That is so amazing. So obviously, well, not obviously, but if you think about that for a moment, that means that our brains grow way, way faster than our bodies.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure there's all kinds of amazing reasons why. But we're going to talk about just a little portion of this because it really does connect to everything that we've been talking about in this podcast, starting with how we are socialized from birth throughout our lives, and how that, like, what happens to that socialization when we are exposed to information and people, relationships, and experiences. How do we process all of that? And one of the ways that growth is measured in our brain is through brain waves.
And what are brainwaves, Stephanie?
So brain waves are these like little electrical impulses in our brain that influence our emotions, our feelings, our habits, our memories. They're patterns.
Mm-hmm.
They're patterns, and they look like little. If you've ever looked on television and saw someone actor faking in the hospital, and they have that screen that goes flip, flip, flip.
Yeah, and the brainwaves, they look just like scribbles, like, when you look at them, pictures, images, they're just little scribbles that go up and down,
Mm-hmm. A
Okay.
little similar if you've ever been around, or hopefully haven't had to have, but like seeing like an EKG,
Mm.
it's like little scribbles. So they're electrical impulses, and from about birth to about 2 years old, the brain waves are the slowest in a person's life. So when the brainwave is really slow, so instead of it going beep, 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 it goes beep, beep. That's a really poor example. But if you could listen to a brainwave, it would sound something like that. And the very slowest brainwave in a human being's life is called delta. So, and only infants and small children, when they're really sleeping, if you've ever seen a baby sleep so peacefully, their brainwave is in delta.
But the interesting part about this is that their brains are absorbing everything. They're taking in so much information at this stage.
Oh yeah, Rennie. When I say everything, or when you say everything, we mean everything. They're not critiquing anything. They're not like judging it. Like, is it good? Is it bad?
Yeah, they're just a blank slate, kind of like a sponge, just soaking every little bit of information in.
Yes. So remember when we talked about the cycle of socialization, and when you're born, you're kind of like this blank slate in terms of like the information and the environment around you. That's what we're talking about here. So wherever you were born, whatever family you were born in, whatever the circumstances around your birth, whatever that unique imprint is, your brain has taken all of that information.
The next brainwave we want to talk about is theta, and this is being developed between ages of 2 and 6 in our brain. And this is a time period where that occurs when you are awake, when a child is awake, but in a very deep, relaxed state of mind. And this is a time when you're just kind of like learning and acting. Your brain is just sending out messages and you're acting on autopilot. You're not really thinking about what you're doing or how you're doing it. You're just a little bit on autopilot. But this particular brainwave really begins helping you process information and making memories. And
yep. So that's from about 2 to 6 years old. And when you think about that cycle of socialization around that time, you're still kind of at the whim and mercy of whoever your family is, whatever school you're going to, whatever the environment is around you.
And then the next stage is like when we're like from 6 to 12 years old and our alpha brainwaves start to form.
So your alpha state is just like a higher frequency of awakeness. So you remember when you were 6 and 12, Rinnie?
Yes, I do.
Yeah. I remember too. I remember that's when I started like deciding what I like and what I didn't like, and I was making meaning about a lot of things going on in my life during that time.
So yeah, in this alpha stage, it's just happening like only during the day when we are awake. It's like our conscious level, just in the here and now state of mind.
And then we go into what is called the beta brainwave frequency, and that's from about 12 years old to adult time. This is the frequency that really helps you stay focused, helps you to complete a task, to stay on track about learning something. This is when you are in a truly conscious state of mind.
Yes, but this is where we also can get tripped up, because if we have too many beta waves going, that leads to mental anxiety and stress.
Yeah. So these different brain frequencies sound so smart and scientific, but they're really everyday processes that enable us to like do our daily lives, go about our work, go about our building our businesses, go about being in relationships, and we're lifting them up for you to understand, for us to understand um, just how powerful our minds are. So from birth to adulthood, our brain has been growing rapidly, and the different brainwave frequencies have been compartmentalizing all kinds of memories, habits, biases, our creativity, our intuition. So most of our mind, 90% of our mind, that holds our memories, holds our emotions and feelings, our habits, our addictions, our involuntary bodily functions, like making our heart beat, and making all of our organs work, our creativity, our spiritual connection. Most of that information lives in our subconscious mind. So 90% of all of the information that is measured by those brainwave frequencies live in our subconscious mind.
It would be really hard to imagine, like, if we remembered every single thing that happened to us since we were born. I mean, our brains have to compartmentalize. There's too much information that we've learned.
Absolutely. We would be completely inefficient, ineffective. We wouldn't be able to function. I've thought about it. I've actually thought about these things. Like, imagine if you had to tell your heart to beat.
Mm-hmm.
or, imagine if every time you got in a car, you had to teach yourself again how to drive.
Yeah, so a lot of these things, these memories and patterns and habits, we're actually just unconsciously using them. Sometimes you get in the car and you drive to work and you don't even remember how you got there. Like you get to work like, wow, did I really just drive my car?
So what we're trying to say is most of our mind activity is subconscious, and consciously we're only using about 10% of our mind. Mm-hmm. And that's when we're like actually focusing on something or trying to figure out something.
And for our work with mindset shifts and mindset behaviors and stuff, it's what we don't see that's most often in control of our lives.
Correct. So if your unconscious or subconscious part of your mind is holding your beliefs, your habits, your emotions, your values, your reactions, your biases, and that stuff came from when we were, 4 and 3 and 2 and 11, and we're not remembering all those experiences. I think my earliest memory, I can go back, I'm probably about like 5 or 6. Some people can go further back than that. But if we're not aware or don't remember where we got our beliefs, why we like peanut butter or hate peanut butter, why we have the values that we have, it can kind of be in the driver's seat, just like Rinnie said, of our daily life, and it may actually be be very different from what we actually consciously would like to do or think or believe.
So that's where we want to leave our conversation today. We are going to come back, and as we move forward, we're going to talk about how these subconscious mind affects our body and our behaviors and our habits. And, we're going to just continue to parse this out in our podcast and our mindset work. before we close off, let's turn to our new segment, our gratitude moment.
I want to thank our entrepreneurs. They have been awesome to work with. We were supposed to have an event, but it's going to rain, so we had to change it. And they've been really just flexible and just invested right here with us, wanting to, build stronger businesses. So I just want to thank them for showing up. I also want to thank Chatham County for showing up, for investing in our work. We talked about our mindset trainings with Chatham County from day one, right?
Yeah.
And they saw the value in it, so we're grateful for them. Who do you want to thank, Rinnie?
I want to shout out to the plant. It's an industrial park business complex in Pittsburgh, which has a lot of different businesses, and some of them are BIPOC business, but they have also became sponsors of our event that we're having. We've shifted the day from this Friday the 9th to the 29th because of Hurricane Debbie that's coming in, but we will still have the event celebrating National Black Business Month, and we are very thankful to the plant for being a sponsor for that.
Awesome.
Today's food for thought. Mahatma Gandhi once said, "Your beliefs become your thoughts become your words become your actions become your habits become your values, and your values become your destiny." Today's questions: how might your thoughts be influenced by unconscious programming from early in your life? In what ways can understanding the links between the cycle of socialization and the unconscious habits, beliefs, and biases influence our lives? What strategies can we put in place to consciously uncover those unconscious scripts and programs that influence our values and shape our desired life outcomes? Stephanie, it's a wrap.
All right, it's a wrap, Rinnie. Thank y'all for listening. If you are anywhere in the southeast portion of the United States, stay safe, stay dry as we ride out this stormy weather. And I didn't hit that right note, but that's okay. Anyway, we're going to wrap it up, and like we say, the evolution begins with dialogue. Talk to y'all later.
Thank you for listening to the Remedy Podcast, a mindset-shifting project of WEBB. Wealth Through Entrepreneurship for Black and Brown Businesses is a North Carolina nonprofit located in Chatham County. We offer incubator, accelerator business services to Black and BIPOC entrepreneurs. Our podcast hosts are Stephanie Terry and Rinnie Orr, the co-founders of WEBB. We realize that building an ecosystem of support is critical to achieving our mission. Your donation to WEBB supports the podcast, WEBB's coaching services, and the promotion of the businesses and entrepreneurs we serve. To learn more about WEBB, please visit our website at webbsquared.org.